on the way out when she was flirting with him. I didn't want to be associated with that. So when she called my hotel room that night, I didn't get it. I took the phone off the hook. Real talk. Hi, my loves. Welcome back. This is an old school row car video because I have visit this upcoming weekend and I want to make sure that I have all my videos filmed for the upcoming week. I usually film on the weekends because I work full time and we got to get it in. So I was at Costco. Is anybody else like this? You wind up in the middle of Costco with a full cart of groceries and nobody with you. And you cannot leave that cart to go to the bathroom, but you got to go. So what I did was I checked out really quick, packed the car. Right next door, there's a Petco. Ran over and used the bathroom really quick, and I'm in the parking lot, and I said, while I have 5 minutes before I have to get home, unpack the groceries, and head out to a graduation party, I'm going to film this video. So what we're going to talk about today is basically settling into this life, and when you're not a newbie anymore, and you're just kind of in the middle, and things become normal. And maybe not even just normal. Yes, they become normal. And the good news is you're not crying yourself to sleep every night. You've been through all of your firsts and even your seconds of all of your holidays and birthdays and special occasions. And you kind of got a handle on this. You're not up all night worried if he's okay. You don't feel like you're tethered to your phone and it's surgically implanted in your hip at all times. You don't feel like if you miss a call, it's the end of the world. This is just your new normal. You've settled in. But along with that comes a point where you're not going to send so much mail. You're not going to sit in front of the computer and Google every which way that a law can change for him. And you just kind of are at the point of acceptance, which reminds me of a story where I was in the hotel room. A lot of stories there because when Adam first moved to McKean, I was going to see him every 2 weeks and I would have to use all of my vacation days for that. And again, I was earlier in this, and once I settled in, I realized how much of a burden that was on me financially and physically, and actually on him physically. So we decided to push that back to once a month. It was easier for us. It was something more manageable for us for our relationship. So I was in the hotel room, and back then, this shows how long I've been doing this, Bethany Frankel's show, when she did her spinoff of The Real Housewives of New York, and she had her own show. I can't remember the name of it, something Bethany. And she was at her therapist's office. I'm sorry, I had to put the air up. I hope you can hear me over it, and I will try to drown that out when I edit this video. Bethany was at her therapist. This was before she got married. This was before she had her baby. And she was talking about how she wanted it so badly and it just wasn't happening for her. And her therapist went into this explanation about acceptance and how when you get yourself to the point of acceptance, accepting your life for what it's worth in the very moment, not tripping about what you want in the future that's not happening, not ruminating about everything you did wrong and all of your guilt and everything you wish you did better in the past. You just accept life for what it is in the moment today. That's where you get everything you want. That's where the miracles happen. And I'm saying that in my words. I'm paraphrasing. I don't think a therapist is going to say something like that's where the miracle happens, but that's how I interpreted it, and those are my unique words for what he was trying to say. And look what happened. Within a year or two, she did wind up getting married. She did wind up having a baby. She did wind up having the life that she wanted so badly. She accepted it. And it's kind of what we're trying to do right now. So in the beginning, you're a hot mess. You're trying to grapple with emotions. You're trying to figure out how you're going to get through not only every day, but the next however many years his sentence lasts. But once you kind of get into a groove, you get into a routine, you get into the swing, and you start accepting your new normal, then things kind of slow down. I remember I was at a Christmas party one time, and my girlfriend, whose boyfriend was locked up with Adam, it was actually his mother's, her boyfriend's mother's Christmas party. And right before lockdown, we both pull out our phones to send them cute little lockdown emails from Core Links right before, so we knew that they would get it. And his mother stopped and embarrassed us in front of everybody at this party. And she goes, "Are you two kidding right now?" We're like, "What?" She goes, You're at a party. You need to put your phones down. First of all, you're being rude. Second of all, life has to go on for you too. You need to put the phones away and you need to enjoy yourselves in the moment. You need to celebrate with everybody here, participate in life, and then when things are over, when you have time to do this, then you send them an email, then you answer the call. You don't drop everything or not participate in a party, just your body's here but your mind's someplace else. No. And in the moment, we were kind of annoyed. It was embarrassing, but she was right. You get mad about that kind of stuff because there's truth behind it, and the truth hurts sometimes. I remember in the beginning, there were days where I would literally get up in the morning on a Saturday, my day off, and I would start Googling. I was going to be the one that found the issue, the loophole that would get the law changed for Adam. I was going to be the one that got him home, and I would research, and I would Google, and I would read some more, and this would last for 8 hours until I was like, oh, I better get up from the computer, I better go eat, and then I'd go back in front of the computer Saturday and Sunday. This happened for months until finally I realized I'm not going to be the one that's going to potentially find the thing that's going to be the loophole. I got to leave that to the lawyers. I have to live my life. If I am doing research, that doesn't mean I shut myself off to things, but I set up my Google alerts. I made that video about it. I will pop it up in there. I set up my Google alerts when things happen. I will research them. I will speak to the people. I will form the friendships with the people who will help me and reach out to me when something opens up, and then I will live my life. And so that's what I mean about settling in. And there's times where I don't check my email, and I don't send Adam an email for a while. I had said it. I made mention of that in a video that I did. Hold on, somebody just pulled up next to me. Commercial break. Sorry, guys. So I was in a parking lot. All the way on one end, there were no cars around me. There were a million spots way close to, I was outside of kind of a steakhouse type of a thing. The steakhouse was one end, and then there was like a pass through, and then the pet store was at the other end, and this kid just pulled up next to me and he was looking kind of shady, and he wasn't getting out of his car, so I got weirded out and I moved to a different part of a different parking lot. So, okay. I was saying in my video where I believe it was when I was talking about the time that Adam went into the hole. And I said, a lot of times we guilt ourselves, or at least I have in the past, where I would go all day without emailing Adam. For years, we would email once in the morning, once in the evening for sure. Would get up, first thing we would do was email each other. Last thing we would do was email each other before bed. And then usually there were one or two in between. Well, I got kind of lazy and I got kind of busy and I would put it off. Like, I have an email in my phone right now that's been there for hours from him that I haven't checked yet. I was at Costco. I was getting ready for a party. I was trying to get so much stuff done. So sometimes we guilt ourselves. We're not sending mail every single day. We're not taking pictures of every little thing, the leaves on the ground, because you want him to see everything. Now he gets pictures every once in a while. Adam hasn't gotten sexy pictures in probably a year or two. And I don't do that to punish him. And some people are going to judge me. I had a woman who came at me hard one time that I didn't love him. And I had some weird ulterior motive because I admit these things to you guys. You can judge me all you want, but I admit them so you know that you're normal, and this is part of it. So if you want to judge me for that, judge me. If you want to reach out to me and talk to me about it, that is fine. But I'm telling you right now, I am not going to take your advice or take you seriously unless you've been doing this for 15 years or more. Because I promise you, when you're at the beginning phase of your relationship, you're going to want to send mail every day. You're going to want to research everything that you could do. You're going to want to know everything you possibly can about inside the prison system. Tell me everything that went on in here. I want to get involved in all of the politics. I want to be the best prison wife. I'm going to help everybody at visit. And then it's going to get to a point where you're going to settle and you're going to breathe and you're going to realize I don't have to help every woman at visit. I will smile and I will help when I can. I don't need to be the best prison wife. I don't need to get involved in your drama. I don't need to put myself in a situation where you're going to be a target for the cops and you're not going to be able to get in to visit. I don't want to be associated with you. I will be kind and cordial to you, but I don't want to be your friend. I had a girl who was flirting with a cop on the way out of visit. On the way in, she asked me if I wanted to go to dinner with her that night because we were both staying in the hotel. I said, sure, let's exchange numbers. Thank God I never gave her my number. I gave her the number of my hotel room. And so on the way out, when she was flirting with him, I didn't want to be associated with that. So when she called my hotel room that night, I didn't get it. I took the phone off the hook. Real talk. So the point is, there is a point where you're going to realize that you're not doing everything that you were doing before. That's okay, sweetheart. Breathe. Let yourself off of the hook. Listen to me. This needs to be part of your life. This does not need to be your whole entire life. You need an identity outside of being a prison wife. It's just like those mamas who only know how to be a mom. That is their only identity. And then their kids grow up and they go out to college and they don't know who they are anymore. Or God forbid, you name yourself Adam's wife and everything you are is Adam's wife. When you introduce yourself to people, you don't say, hi, I'm Roseanne. You say, hi, I'm Adam's wife. And then all of a sudden, God forbid, you and Adam break up. You don't know who you are anymore. You need to have other identities. Being a prison wife is not your number one and should never be your number one identity. And it should not be what you eat, sleep, breathe, and do all day, every day. Although in the beginning, it might feel like that. But girlfriend, when you settle in, there is no guilt. There is no shame. There is no negative self-talk. And there is no beating yourself up. However, one thing that I just learned from my experience, girl. One thing I just learned is you need to communicate that to your loved one and you need to come to a compromise, because he emailed me recently. He was helping me with something fitness related. He kind of got in his feelings about the fact that I hired a coach to do my diet and my fitness stuff versus asking him to do it. And I have my reasons why I didn't ask him to do it. And if you guys want me to get into that, because you know I tell you everything, I'm an open book. And this is nothing against Adam. Believe me, I love him more than anything else in the world. And he understands why I didn't. Comment below and I'll explain why to you guys. But he kind of got his feelings hurt. So when he started to help me out with things and send me some of his tips, he said the only form of payment, he was joking, of course, he would never ask me to pay him for anything. He knows how much I spend on our relationship. But he said the only form of payment I ask for is that you send me at least one email during the day, at least one email, because what I'll do is I'll send him a long email, but it's usually right before bed, so he doesn't hear anything from me until the next morning. I just want you to send me one email. It could be short. And just let me know that you're doing okay. And it's funny because one of his friends in there just went through this with one of my friends out here. They're a couple. And so I knew that they were kind of going through that. And her boyfriend, you know who you are, she's watching this, but her boyfriend probably was kind of venting to Adam about it because they're friends, or talking through it with Adam because they're friends. And Adam got that idea in his head as well. He's probably like, let your girl off the hook because my girl has been doing that to me for years. So the point is compromise. Now I will jokingly send him an email because I told you guys, I will post it up there. We love to make each other laugh. I will say receipt because he's helping me and that was my form of payment. Receipt, I love you more than anything else. Or receipt, today it was receipt, you're my favorite, ... everything. Love the management. So we joke with each other, but just make sure that you do what works for you guys. Don't disappear on him because you don't want him to disappear on you, but also you do not need to make this your whole entire life. If it is right now because you're new, I get it, girl. But just know that when you get to the point, or if you get to the point, and for my ladies that are at that point and you kind of feel guilty or you're judging yourself, let it go. Let it go. This is part of it. It's just part of being a settled in, longer term. And by long term, I mean after year one. It usually happens after year one. Prison wife. I love you guys. Keep staying strong. Keep loving strong. Keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to it all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you beautiful ladies and gentlemen in the next one. Bye guys.